Hare Krishna. Hare So, welcome all of you. And all the best for next 3 hours because you have to tolerate like yesterday. So I apologize yesterday. I begin with apology on today also. I'm trying to present something which is very difficult, not sufficiently prepared also. It's a good excuse, but trying to be as honest as possible. Try to serve all of you in spite of this competition. Still, glories, we are discussing something worthwhile, Bhagavatam. That is the condition. So, as we do every day, we'll do like that. So, first, what we do is some reflection. First is the glory of Srimad Bhagavatam. So, Bhagavatam is glorious because that's the goal of everything. You see, Bhagavad Gita is graduate study and post graduation in Bhagavatam. In Chaitanya Charitamrita, what is glorified is what is realized by the devotees is Bhagavatam. Pundarik Udyanidhi was spoken one verse which we are discussing now. So that verse Mukundat, no, not Mukundat. Mukundat sang the verse and then the real personality of him came on. And there was Bhagavad Acharya in near Kolkata where Mahaprabhu was dancing and was telling him, you please recite verses of Bhagavatam. So many times we hear Mahaprabhu dancing on the holy name. But this is the place where he relished Srimad Bhagavatam verses. And what he discussed with Ramanand Rai is he would quote particular verse from Bhagavatam or other scriptures which is fitting to the mood of Lord Chaitanya. And in Rath Yatra, what verse Mahaprabhu relished is there in Srimad Bhagavatam. So actually, that is what is NOD? After deep study of Bhagavatam, his heart is filled with rasa. And then he put the science of rasa in NOD and all references from Bhagavatam and other places. This is Goswami. Jiva Goswami writes there. What is Sandarbhas? It's all Bhagavatam. Sandarbha is a commentary on Bhagavatam which is thematic. It's Bhagavatam. The whole purpose of Sandarbha is to establish Bhagavatam is the highest command. So, Mahaprabhu's mat is given where? Aradhyo Bhagavan Sakshat Rajeshatanaya Tad Dhama Vrindavanam Ramya Kachit Upasana Vrajavadhu Bhagena Yakan Srimad Bhagavatam Pranam Prema Pumartho Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu Natarivam Tatradharanakta. So it's a very, very essential scripture. Yes. And what is that song which says, Madhyastha Bhagavat Purana? That is a brahmachari song actually. Dhana Mora Nityananda, Pati Mora Gaurachandra. Pran Mora Yugal Kishore, Advaita Acharya Bala, Gadadhar Mora Pula. But I want to understand the meaning of this. I don't know, anyone knows? Bala is Advaita Acharya. Advaita Acharya? Bala. Gadadhar Mora Pula. Vaishnava, Narahari Vilase. Then comes somewhere. When there is Vrindavane Chabutara, that is last item. Bhagavatam also comes somewhere. Bhagavata Purana. So it's a very essential aspect of our life. It's not part of Krishna consciousness. The whole thing is centered around Srimad Bhagavatam, and that we are trying to discuss. So it's very important thing which is being discussed in your course. So please continue the course. In 6th canto, many people will reduce. Please try your best to continue. Be with Krishna. And my all well wishes and request to you that you will be happy at the end of 6th canto. try your best to participate and involve in this course. Prabhupada wanted these courses. Although many managers are not doing the courses here, and I am very unhappy with them. Like this Revati Pati, I just requested him recently that please come to Bhakti Vedanta Prabhu. It will be so nice. Yes, yes, I also like him to teach that time. Nice discussions happened about Krishna. Pure Krishna Katha and nothing else, no strings attached. So he said, yes, I am thinking of difficult. And he said, Radhisham also told him. So, earlier also he had told, right? So he tried. And Shri Bhagavad Seva also had tried. He said, yes, I will. Now another parampara, same person, he is also not there now. Anant Kirtan. But only I told. Same parampara is going. I asked him, I am missing your questions. He said, oh, wow, phone call. I said, you study Bhagavatam. You may not do this. Somewhere you do. Online, offline, somewhere you study Bhagavatam. Is doing started or not? Very good. I told him, do somewhere. Do the course. Actually, Bhagavatam will teach you what is management. So, I am not criticizing their services are thankless, but Prabhupada wanted them. Bhagavatam. So it's very important, and sure enough, there will be challenges to continue with Bhagavatam. And this is half sixth canto. Another six cantos are there. So not easy. Bhakti Vaibhav, now what Bhakti Vedanta started, there are hardly 20 devotees. The beginning with Bhakti Vaibhav was, the whole Bhakti Vedanta hall was filled. Now, this many are remaining. So, what I am saying is, it's not easy. And in the greatest tolerance is the teachers, which you are tolerating now. Yesterday you tolerated very much. So, please, please, please continue. The book is very nice. Even if teachers are nice, not nice so much all the time. That will help you to tolerate. But please continue if possible with whatever difficulties, whatever services. So because it's a very, very essential aspect of life, let us get married, Vishwan. Then you may not need anything else in this world. Because that's what Bhagavatam says. What is it? Sarva Vedanta Saram hi Srimad Bhagavatam Ishyati. Tadrasamrita Putrasya Nanyatra Sadhrati Kuchit. So these are the things which you should hold on to. That's what Bharam says. You have to hold on to some eternal things. Holy name, holy fame. These are the eternal things which we should hold on to. Everything else will keep on changing in this world. Different people will come, different temple, different services, different departments. So many things can change. So this thing can be constant and it can help us. So that is glory of Bhagavatam. So now some reflections from yesterday. Yes, please go ahead. Yesterday was most, as per my service, I was greatly dissatisfied after service because I could not do so. Still, in case you have picked up something. Yes, so you want to say?
Actually, when we discussed about the beauty of Krishna, it has three parts that attracts the Vidyavadis. Then it will attracts Lord Narayana. And then it will attracts Lord Krishna himself. When he can see himself in the mirror, he can affect it.
Yes.
This is the past I can't affect the most.
Yes, so that is the extent of attractiveness of Krishna, the supreme beauty of Krishna. Yes. Thank you. 3 levels of astonishment. Vismapanam. Jiva Swami said. And it is not just to say, it's a fact. Yes, anything else? 3 verses are there. No, 3 levels of the beauty of Krishna. Yes, anyone from online want to share some yesterday's discussion?
Dandavat Pranam.
Hari Bol. Yeah, Hari
Uh, the Uddhava was
like that was there in the song. Yeah. Yes, Prabhu.
Uddhava was criticizing those Yadus who were not able to understand the glory of Krishna. So you are telling that actually they are fortunate, comparing their position as compared to Vrajvasis. And he is considering them unfortunate. Means that was the point for saying that they could not, they are unfortunate. In that sense, it is says unfortunate. Otherwise, they were with the Lord. So how they are unfortunate? You are explaining that.
Yes, yes. So first three verses of his talk, right? 7, 8, and 9, I think. Ninth verse says that. That they knew Krishna as the best among the Yadus, like a moon in the middle question, right? That is the previous. And they know that he is there in the heart of everyone. But they don't know him as Swayam Bhagavan. So actually, Swayam Bhagavan understanding is Vrindavan. And they don't know him as Swayam Bhagavan. So that's what is understanding of Swayam Bhagavan. The experience of him as a normal person. Attractive person with great qualities. So that is understanding of Swayam. The Bhagavan understanding is one, right? Brahman, Paramatma, Bhagavan. But Swayam Bhagavan understanding, who didn't have Dwarka. That's what Prabhupada said in the first book. So this Swayam Bhagavan understanding is the monopoly of Gaudiya Vaishnavism, the highest of them. The separation. So yes, Uddhava is able to understand that. Yes, thank you. Thank you. Yes, anything else? You are raising hand. I want to say something.
That means they were there different levels and there are similar and they're condemned for their intermediate. They know Krishna but don't know real Krishna I said. The highest form of devotion.
Yes, pure, unconditional, unconventional devotees.
Even if it is not mixed with new kind of understanding of the Lord incarnation.
Yes.
Just pure love.
Pure unalloyed devotees or pure unconventional or unconditional. Yes, so that is what Krishna is happy, right? And we want to please Krishna. So that is possible in not that, because there are people in Vaikuntha, there are Sukha Aishwarya, Uttara and like that. So they are also there, but there in that there is some kind of spiritual self-interest. In Vrindavan, there is no question on it. There is nothing. So that is the highest which pleases Krishna, that Krishna says in Chaitanya Charitamrita. Whole world worships me with Aishwarya Bhav. That doesn't please me. Aishwarya Shithila Preme, Nahi Mara Priti. So if you want to please Krishna, and you want to serve the way he wants, be pleased. So that is Brajvasis, and among them also the Gopis of Vrindavan.
Also, the next verse, Vedant Share, and there means he not displayed his, not came in that form to show to it, so we cannot see.
Pradarsh.
That word was mentioned.
Pradarsh Ataptatapasam.
Yes.
Avitaptatasham.
Means that was a very good to show that Lord is everything. His form is there.
Yes.
Because he is example of some devil.
There also he gives example of sun. Because some places sun is rising, some places it is set. Right? So that's how Krishna also, he is showing on this earth, now he withdrew. He went some other earth, he withdrew. Just as sun is going. So he gives examples. Yeah. So, yes. So he manifests himself. So Pradarsha also means when he wants to show, he will be seen. Because it's in his liberty to show. It's not a person to see with his eyes. When he shows, you see. That is the meaning of a pradarsh. Yes, anything else? What was unlimited in that? The Yog Maya Bal was shown. The highest zenith of the Shakti of Yog Maya, where it didn't restrict in any of his opulences. So highest Madhurya, highest Aishwarya, and highest Kripa or Karuna. Highest Karuna is the last verse. Bhakti Vaibhav. No one can do that. Highest Aishwarya where and highest Madhurya with the gopis and Vajvasis. Sweetness. There is no mixture of any Aishwarya. So highest Aishwarya where is it?
Brahmas, I mean,
Yeah. Then we can see that is a greatness in a sense of that. That verse speaks about greatness. So opulence also comes in that. So Brahma Vimohan Lila, where he showed his worshipable deities, so many Vishnus coming out from the highest Aishwarya. So this everywhere else he restricts them. Only in this form, fully, without, rather not restricting, but showing fully, without any restriction. So that's what is the full understanding of Krishna.
Pooji. One more point I remember. You said yesterday 12 to 24 sloka number, how they are different. Although Supreme Personality of Godhead, Uddhava is explaining. So although it is explained later shlokas also, but how it is different. You said that it is philosophically established how Krishna is the Supreme Personality of God. So you said that to pacify a Yudhura, he has to speak of philosophy. So everywhere in the Bhagavatam it is found that to pacify someone, philosophy is required.
Yes. Philosophy is required and empathy is required, and we have to understand the emotion of other person. So that's why means all these aspects are required. This is called maturity. Philosophical depth and emotional softness of heart. These both things have to be simultaneously there. Then we can pacify someone like here Uddhava is able to do. Apriyavrat was dealt by Brahma. So yes, very true, and it is very true that everywhere Bhagavatam, even Chaitanya Charitamrita for that matter, when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu returned, his first wife has left the body. So Sachi Mata was deeply lamenting. So there one verse comes which says that Sachira Mata Koila Shok Nivaran by Tatvera Kaila, something like that is there. So even Lord has to speak to his mother, something which will pacify. So it's very essential to speak relevant philosophy, but with great empathizing with emotions of the other person who is hurt, who is yes, Prabhu, thank you. And till 7 to 24 is that. The clarity to Dhava, and it's half part now. And the second half is going to come in the 4th chapter. And so that's what we'll see too. So this is the great Uddhava, who is entrusted by the Supreme Lord the most confidential truths about his own Swarupa. So let us go further. So I didn't end this verse actually. That is what we will do. Since we are discussing the words of Uddhava, so last time there is one verse which Sanatana Goswami writes to pray to Uddhava. Very nice verse. Yeah. Now screen share. So this is the verse which Sanatana Goswami is offering prayers. This is in 1046:1. What is, I think this chapter is Brahma Gita, 45 or 46, I don't know. Maybe 45, 46. What is it? 46? So somewhere basically Uddhava is involved there. Maybe 46 is that. So there only in the first verse he is offering obeisances to Uddhava. Sanatana Goswami. So we will also remember to discuss his words, which are very profound. Uddhava visiting Vrindavan, 46. 47 is Brahma Gita. Yes, so, these two chapters about Vrindavan. Afterwards, these two only, 46, 47. So Brahma Gita is the crescendo, which is experienced by Uddhava in this world. So that Uddhava is so let us pray because we are discussing his words. Very important to pray. Astaika Sharanam Krishnam Atan Vrajajanam Shatan Daschan Ta Shwasakam Bhattam Artya Vande Durashaya. Please read the translation, Buddha. In sorrow.
In sorrow with hopeless heart, I offer respects to Krishna, only shelter for those suffering, to suffering people of Praja, and to Uddhava, who alleviated their suffering.
Can you imagine Uddhava alleviated suffering of Brajvasis? Because he was there for 9 months almost, discussing about Krishna, sharing about Krishna to Brajvasis, and was hearing from them. So, very rare person who can alleviate. So, he could do that eventually. Beginning he went, but he was trying to speak what he knew, but then he understood that I am student here. Let me become student of Brajvasis. And
So
then,
what it means, better for those suffering to suffering people?
no, Krishna is the only shelter for those suffering. To suffering people of Raja also, he is offering respects to that also. Krishna, the suffering people of Raja, so all are connected with suffering. So the only shelter of suffering is Krishna. So I am offer my respects to him. Then to suffering Rajvasis also I am offer my respect. And then I offer my respects to Uddhava, who alleviated their suffering. So, because he was sent by Krishna personally. So that is Uddhava. So we are trying to do something about what is. So we discussed till verse, I think 22, right? Or 20. 22 or 20? 20. So this is the sequence what we read. So today, Prabhu, we will complete this chapter and begin with next chapter. And it will happen. Because fourth chapter is very important. And that should have at least one day. So there is not much purports in the rest of this thing. So this is the sequence what we discussed. This is the important section. So Krishna's son has set. Everyone is made fortune for all locals, but Yadus, especially Yadus, because they had partial understanding of Swayam Bhagavan. So they had some understanding of Swayam Bhagavan. They experienced the sweetness, but not fully. So I am thinking about, so he is establishing the glory of Rajvasis also, right? And pacifying him. Then what is view of my dear the Vidura don't get affected by the words of those who are touched by mind. That is the 10th verse. This is very important. Devasya mayaya sprishta ye channana sudashyata. Brahmete dhirna tadvakye atmani atmano parau. So the person who is absorbed in Krishna's sweetness, his mind is not affected by the comments or criticisms or arguments given by those who are touched by mind. So, what is the opinion of devotees? Views of materialist, opinion of devotees. So, truth of Krishna's form. 4 verses 11, 12, 13, 14. 11th is he shows and he withdraws. And he shows out of mercy to people who are not qualified also. Atripta, what is it? Rather, atapta tapasa. He shows it out of mercy. And 12th verse is his all attractiveness. Yan marute leela upagi comes for yoga. And then its influence on those who are touched by Maya, that is Rajasuya Yoga. But they thought his avayavas are so beautiful. Brahmaji has used all his kaushal to make his their understanding. They got attracted with Maya aspect. And the highest experience of Krishna's supreme beauty is gopis, that their minds went with Krishna. When they remembered Krishna, they could not do their household duties. That is the influence on the people who are the vilas, the utkrishta, the highest experience of his beauty. Right? The highest beauty is shown to the person who is highest devotion. Right? That's why Radha Brahman is the most beautiful form. Because it is giving pleasure to whom? So in front of Radharani, Krishna's beauty is highest. So beauty also depends on who is there in front. Right? So that is the form of Radha Raman, which was appreciated by all the other Goswamis. Right? And it was combination of all other three. Madan Mohan, Govinda, Gopinath, Madan. Govinda, Gopinath, Madan Mohan. Right? No.
Sambandh, Abhiday, Sambandh, Madan Mohan, Abhiday, Govinda, Gopinath. Base is Govinda.
So Govinda, Gopinath, Madan Mohan. This is good, right? Govinda, Gopinath, Madan Mohan. That's how we see it. So he had most closest to Krishna's form. So Radha Raman, because where it was shown to Radharani, so this form, where it was shown, this form of Radha Raman, it is said, I think one devotee shared with me, makes sense. In Ras Leela, Krishna left, then he took four-handed form. Now gopis came, gopis asked, where is Krishna? Four hands showed there. Then Radharani came, what happened? Two hands there. So that form in front of Radharani is the most beautiful. And that is Radharani. So, and that is actually Alalnath also, in that sense. Alalnath also is having connection with that pastime. So that is what is there in the 14th verse. So that is truth of his form. Now, see, Janma Karma Chame Divya. Now his activities and other things. People have doubts about all that activities also. So they are all clarified. So many people say, what is the real truth? He came from Narayan or what? Whether this form went to Vaikuntha, that also is answered in this 11 to 14. Right? That form didn't go to Vaikuntha. It is just manifesting by this. So 15th is what? So many opinions. Someone say Narayan comes as Krishna and so on. But all that is, no, Krishna manifests like a fire. So fire analogy shows that Krishna can manifest. He is eternally present in Mathura, Dwarka and Vrindavan. In home, Vrindavan. Home, Dwarka, home. He is there, but whenever there is friction, he appears like fire. So that is what is 15th verse, right? Prasharta Rupeshu. Yeah. Paravaresho Mahadamsha. So what is the real truth? So Krishnastu Bhagavan Sai. Nete Chamsa Kalapamsa Krishnastu Bhagavan Sai. Paravaresho Mahadamsha Yukta is that. He is Para means Narayan's controller. Avara means Brahma and Shiva's controller. And Mahadamsha Yukta means all Amshas are there in him. They are all serving him. So Yathagni. That is 15th verse. So that settles everything. All the doubts about his appearance and how all other forms are there. And it is not that. Actually, this purport only, one thing I didn't mention yesterday. So, how many of you went to Shamshabad to see the Ramanuja statue? sorry, Murti actually. So there you saw many decorations. So what is special about that you have seen? Every temple has one top gopura. On top of that, what is there? You have seen that they have given details also. What is there on top of Tirupati temple? Yeah, Gopuram is there, but the Gopuram there is particular design, right? Viman. Yeah, what is that Viman? What is that Viman? So that Viman is means what? The Lord in Vaikuntha is traveling in that Viman and coming here. That's the point. And it is specifically given for each of them. Right? So that goes to show that they are having separate planet, from there they come. But Krishna is not like that. Krishna is present in Bhom Vrindavan, Bhom Mathura, Bhom Dwarka, eternally. He just manifest. That is what is told in the purport. That's why Agni. Agni is there present, but when it rubs, comes. It's there eternally existing. Similarly, Krishna's. So it is not like them. They are all there in him. These all. So that's how we can understand that these devotions also. It's very clear, no? It's there in temple. And it's authentic. So very clear. But Krishna is present in Vrindavan, in Dwarka, in Mathura, eternally. It's Nitya Leela or going on. Or Prakat. Sometimes it is Prakat. Prakat is Radharsha. And withdraw. Or Prakat is going on. And the great souls see them, enter into them. So that's what is. And to go, of course, there is Golok Vrindavan also. There also is there. Goloka eva nivasati akhilatma. But to go there first, where one should get trained in Bhom Vrindavan, somewhere, wherever. Because sun is going all over, wherever the next pastimes are taking place, he is going there all along with his all the associates. So that is how sun. The sun analogy and the fire analogies are very deep, which are used by Uddhava, as revealed by the Acharya. That is 15th verse, so it settles everything. That's why Vishwanath says, all sages agree with this. Thus all doubts are resolved. No doubt should remain about Krishna. This is accordance with statements of the sages. So many times Vishwanath says that, nothing beyond this, This is Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. He's Rasik as well as, deep philosophy also. Today only our Prabhu was saying very nicely. Actually, such amazing classes are going on. Our Venugopal Prabhu is taking Bhakti Vaibhav. Amazing. So he was telling, see, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur commentary, reading, you will learn how to appreciate devotees. Because he is glorifying the devotee like anything. Any word he gets, he glorifies that devotion. So by reading his commentary, we will develop great appreciation for Bhagavatam characters and devotees in general. So the way that's his mood. And his goal is what? Pleasing devotees. His goal is to please devotees. Prabhupada's goal is to please devotees and preach this movement all over the world. So that is even more important for us. But the same Prabhupada wanted us to, a serious student would do well to relish. Unless you relish, we cannot actually do outreach. Otherwise, some other seats will give. That's what. So then he said, but if you read Jiva Goswami commentary, he said, your intelligence will be made very straight. No? Because he is highly philosophical. Thoda idhar udhar he will not go. So Jiva Goswami commentary will help you to very clear. Because he is the Siddhanta. He is, it is said that they are Tattvacharya. Right? And he is Rasacharya. So he will say, will not budge an inch. Just will be very clear about Siddhanta. No mixture. So that's how these both things are important. So these acharyas will help us to appreciate. And that was relish of Prabhupada in the night. Devotional ecstasy associating with this devotees. Then what? Okay, someone will ask that why this, you say Paravaresha. He is control of Narayan, he is control of Brahma. But in his pastimes he appears to be controlled by his devotees. Paratantra. So it appears like that. How can a Paravaresha be controlled? He is controller. Right? How he got control? Then he tells 16 and 17 that why he takes Paratantra, because his goal is what? Bhagavan Bhakta Bhaktiman. So this terminology also came today in the last verse of 86th chapter of 10th canto. We have heard this Bhagavan Bhakta Bhaktiman means what? Lord is devotee of his devotees. This is spoken by whom? Shukadeva Krishna. And this is in the conclusion of Lord is teaching Shukadeva that you have worshipped me very nicely, but these all sages are there. Worshipping the Brahmanas and Vaishnavas. So Bhagavan Bhakta Bhaktiman. So what he pleases Lord is he pleases his devotees. And which are the greater devotees? So 16 and 17, what is established is this one. But I was also confused about he doing this, why he is doing it. Only one principle. What is that? Bhakta Vashyata. Then he doesn't use logic. He will speak lie, he will say I am fearful, all these contradictions. So 16th verse is contradiction. Mam khedayati ajasya janma vidambanam yad vasudeva. So vidamban is that he becomes fully human. And his own absorption is how I can give pleasure to him. So he can expand into two forms like Shutadev Bahulashwa in Mithila to please. Not to speak of in Vrindavan. Okay? So everywhere he does that. So there Uddhava says that I was also confused earlier. But when I asked Krishna personally, then he clarified his Param Sthiti in Vrindavan, Mathura and Dwarka. And essence of that is Bhakta Vashyata. Controlled by the. So that was revealed to him. 16th verse. And Prabhupada also wrote in purport that even person like Uddhava gets bewildered. Right? That also we read. So 16 and 17 was the example of it. 17 is speaking to his parents that we could not serve you. We were fearful of Kamsa and all that. So that is why he is speaking all that. To please them in Vatsalyas, to awaken the Vatsalyas. That is his goal. He doesn't worry who will think what. That is Krishna. Once one lecture from the Radhan Maharaj was saying that he doesn't worry when he is in Vrindavan. He wants to enjoy with his devotees. So for him there is no restriction. Hey, Kapatni Vrata Dharo, nothing like that. No restrictions. For that you have to go to Lord Ram. Here there is no restriction. So that's how he exhibits there in Vrindavan. He doesn't worry about who is going to think what, who is going to write what. Doesn't matter. That is 17. And now the next verse is what? Now someone may say that this is all your understanding. This is all your shraddha on that person. Any person also acts like that to please someone, right? Selfishly. Person also acts like that, right? So this is your shraddha on Krishna that you are saying is God. Then he speaks 3 verses saying that my dear Prabhu, it's not my shraddha. He has publicly depicted his power of destruction and power of his mercy. He gave mercy to person who hated him in public. That is Shishupal. And he gave mercy of prema bhakti to neutral people who were there in battlefield. That is 19 and 20. Having said that, now Uddhava's personal appreciation of Krishna's sweetness over his greatness. So that is the last part. I think here we have to start. Right? Start in the sense till where we went yesterday. It's 21 onwards we have to read. 21, 22, 23, 20. So what is that? Is how I can forget the sweetness of Bhakta Vashyata of supremely powerful Krishna. The supreme power of Krishna is told in 21st, which we are going to see now. And such Krishna is controlled by Ugrasen. He is going in front of Ugrasen. Please instruct him. So this, how can I forget that sweetness? That is his emotion. He is communicating something philosophically, and it is imbued with his emotion of how I can be separated from him. So that is 21, 22. And 23, 24 is the culmination of his emotion. 23 is extreme mercy to Putana. Kamva dayalu sharanam bhajan. So Sharanagati. He is the person worthy of Sharanagati. No one else. Because he is most merciful. And last verse is even demons are devotees. So that is not Siddhanta. So this is the whole section where Krishna's truth is completely established, which you can use to refute 1 crore ideas of those who are touched by mind. And if you do that, what will happen? This will happen. You accept his statements as Krishna's to Bhagavan Swayam and refute all this if someone comes across. Then, thus Bhagavatam becomes full of flavor and pleasing for the listener. So this is the translation. So original is Swa Rasa Rasaniya, not necessarily listener only. What is written here? Shastrasya asya Swa Raso Rasaniya. Asya Shastra. It has rasa in its own self, but it will become rasaniya if we accept his truths. So this is, so you open the 2 doors, Adhikar Tattva, Sadhan Tattva, put the Gogala, Chatushloki and the 10th of methodology. And first you see the goal with these 4 chapters. This is what is the goal. And then 10 topics begin from 5th chapter onwards. And you can relish all throughout Bhagavad. That's how Vishwanath is saying. And he was relishing like that. When there was rain also, he was not understanding. He was completely absorbing, translating. Not translating, sorry, writing the commentaries. And one king saw that. So that Vishwanath is writing this. So that is the section about. So let us now, with whatever time is remaining, we'll put little gear now with this background. Anyway, anyone has any question about this? Now we are going to put little gear. So before that, in case anyone has any clarification, question, comment, please be frank. In case if you have, please express. Go ahead.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Someone said something. Narayana Thakur, you want to say something?
Prabhuji, Uddhava was explaining to Vidura about Lord's glories, and is explaining. So, of course, I don't know. I supposed to ask this question now, but it's there that there is a Maryada Vratikram. Uddhava stopped.
We will
somewhere,
come to
so-
that in 4th chapter. Maryada Vatikram is coming in 4th chapter, right? So we'll discuss it elaborately. But go ahead. Yeah.
Still he was speaking. He is speaking. He is
Amazing.
speaking and giving knowledge. So that we will be discussed in future.
Sadhu,
Still
sadhu.
he is speaking, and he is giving, means he is sharing his knowledge with Vidura.
Yes.
So it should be discussed in future, or you can show some light on it.
First of all, your question is glorious. Very nice question, actually. Many times we see that. So I will just very briefly say something and detail we'll see purport, because that purport is very deep. That Maryada Vatikram has to be clearly understood. Sometimes it is not understood properly. So I will just speak something because you have asked with very wonderful understanding that actually Uddhava did give what was needed. Right? Here only he would have said, "Na yaar, मैं तेरे के पास जाऊँ." Right? Why at the end of fourth chapter? This is what he is asking in one sense. Right? But it is coming at a particular time when Uddhava is saying. So there, Uddhava's devotion is observed by Vidura. Initially also he observed Vishwana. He saw all his tears, 45 minutes, and he understood that he is at a different level of bhakti. And then he got pacified in his emotions by hearing these truths. So he was so humble that he wanted to be like, accept him as Guru. That is the time, he said. And all that was necessary, which I can explain, I have done it. I have not left anything. And what is what is remaining is understood by Maitreya, and he can also tell. So better you ask. So he went in the mood of wanting to be disciple. So this is a small thing. There we'll discuss elaboration too. Okay. So, and of course Uddhava had seva also. He was on the way to his service. Number two, Krishna had told Maitreya in front of Uddhava that give this knowledge to my devotee. This also Uddhava knows. Krishna himself told in that assembly, where fourth chapter is going. At the end, he said to Maitreya that please give this to Vidura, who is wandering in separation from him. That's why Maitreya Muni glorifies him. That Lord has remembered you. So that was told in the last words we read in the beginning of this whole section. Uddhava only tells him that Lord remembered you. He says that much only. And he started crying. He cried a lot. And he left also. Whole night they stayed, and next day he left. Only one night in Vrindavan. Next morning he left to this and he cried for some, and then he met Maitreya. And Maitreya also says, you are not ordinary. God has told me about you are great soul. So this background is there. So Maryada Vatikram has to be understood properly. So details we'll discuss that time. Okay, Prabhu? Yes, Prabhu. Thank you. Thank you very much for raising that question. Anything else? Okay, so let us go ahead. This is Amal Yash Prabhu's Bhagavad. Right at outside. Why it is not big? What is it? Oh, this one. Yeah. So actually, sometimes these chapters are discussed like, Krishna's pastimes are remembered by Uddhava. So surely he is remembering pastimes, but he is remembering pastimes in a context of proving something. So generally, this is very, very important thing. He is going to remember pastimes from verse number 25 in a sequence with birth, Balya, Pauranda, you'll see that. So it is not just remembering past tense, lot of things are happening here. Which are so text number 21. There are many things which we didn't discuss because of time and no preparation proper. So 21. So this already I told, right? So let us see English only. In two verses, Uddhava laments how he could forget the sweetness of Lord and his willingness to come under the control of his devotees. In two verses. But 21st verse, what he is telling? Though he is master of Brahma and other devatas, master of Vishnu forms as well, he becomes servant of Ugrasena. Such powerful Krishna, that is this verse, is coming in the control of his devotees who is Ugrasena. So how can, so that is what is the link. So that is told here. What he is saying, you see, Sridhar Swami also. Similar but different things. All acharyas are writing different amazing things. Punar alaulkika leelayam parama vinay gunatvam. Parama vinay, you understand? This is called Saushilya. Lord becomes very, like Vinay, you can't translate it as humility. Vinay, means there are so many words. I was trying to understand. Vinay has so many meanings. Vidya, Vinayana, Shobhadana. Humility is one closer word to that. But Parama Vinay Gunatva. So that is what is told in Tatswayam iti Yugmakin. From two verses, 21 and 22. So he is very great, but he is very social. He is very easily accessible and available for devotees. Or Bhakta Vash, so that's what Bhakta Vashyatva Madhuryam. Maya Katham Vismrito. So he is talking about Krishna's Siddhanta, Krishna's quality. Vishwanath is telling in the heart of Uddhava. How I can give up such thing? Maya Katham Vismrtum Shakyamiti Vilapiti Dvabhya. So you see, there are many things in the verse. There are emotions of Uddhava, there are truths about Krishna, qualities. There are so let us read this. Swayam tvasamya tishayatra dhishaha swarajya lakshmyapta samasta kama balim bharadbhishchira lokapalai kirita kotidita padapita. Yeah, please read quickly translation.
Lord Shri Krishna is the Lord of all kinds of things and is independently supreme by achievement of all kinds of fortune. He is worshipped by the eternal maintainers of the creation, who offers him the paraphernalia of worship by touching their millions of helmets to his feet.
Yeah. So here different words are explained by Acharyas, but Prabhupada mainly explains about Tiradish. Tiradish means what? Swami of three. So Swami of three Gunavataras, Swami of three Purushavataras, Swami of Gokul, Vaikuntha, Devi Dham, Swami of Mathura, Dwarka, Vrindavan, Swami of Chit, Maya and Jiv Shakti. So Lord Tiradish, Swami of three, Swami of all of them. And he has greatest opulence. Or his all karmas are fulfilled, and so on. Right? So Prabhupada writes this Vinay, you see how Prabhupada translates. We saw that, no? Is Vinay. So Prabhupada writes in the first line of purport, Lord Krishna is so mild and merciful, as described in above verses, and yet he is the Lord of all kinds of things. So Prabhupada is also saying that. So Prabhupada is making the point of mildness. So Saushilya, Vinaya, Mrudutva, this is all the qualities of Krishna. So this is all about that. And now the main point is coming. Why that verse was spoken? That such powerful Krishna is controlled by Ugrasena, who is his devotee. Tatasya kainkaryamadamritanam viglapayatyangayadugrasenam tishtan nishannam parameshtadivya nyabodaya deva nidharayeti.
Therefore, does it not pain us, his servitors, when we remember that he, Lord Krishna, used to stand before King Ugrasen, who was sitting on the royal throne, and used to submit explanations before him, saying, "O my Lord, please let it be known to you."
Yeah. So actually, he's saying it pains me. You understand? That such great person is taking such a humble role. So actually, if some great soul does like that, it's not like pain. Is in English, it is pain. It's like Vigla Payati, it is there. Duno, I had there is Dunoti also came earlier. So recently, someone was sharing when Prabhupada Maharaj went to where this place where all one third of India went for taking Kumbh Mela. So he went to Lucknow. So Lucknow, there is our devotee who is leading the temple, right? From SRM one devotee is there. What is his name? Narayan. So he was serving Maharaj actually. Serving in the sense taking him in car and all. So he was just to catch the flight from Lucknow actually. So there he took him in car and did everything. So he thanked him. Thank you so much, Maharaj, for allowing me to give some offer some service. And he said, I am useless. I am good for nothing. Like that was spoken to him. Like that. So actually, it means a lot. I also can fully grasp. The person who has heard it can feel it. When someone like this says like that. That touches heart a lot. And it's very genuine. It's not to just say, to repeat or some practice or something. Genuine feeling. So he is saying, like, oh, so that's how he is saying. So this is amazing. Please read. Prabhupada puts one by one and he goes to Vrindavan. Although Uddhava is not gone to Vrindavan, but Prabhupada goes. Yeah, please read. 4 things. Lord Krishna's breast.
First, gentle behavior before his so-called superiors, such as father, grandfather, and elder. So he is noble, courteous.
So gentle means what? Noble, courteous, and mild.
Second, he is amiable behavior with his so-called wives, friends, and contemporaries. Being friendly and in pleasant manner.
So amiable. It is more intimate now than the previous. Yeah.
Third, his behavior as a child before his mother Yashoda.
Vatsalya.
Fourth, his naughty dealings with his young girlfriends. Cannot bewilder a pure devotee like Uddhava.
Yeah. And so this already I said. So earlier Prabhupada wrote in one purport that such interactions are bewildering to Uddhavas. You remember that statement? Prabhupada wrote that such dealings. Now here what Prabhupada is writing? Cannot bewilder Uddhava. So how to reconcile these two? Prabhupada wrote, right? This is 16th verse only, what is quoted here. The 16th verse purport I am reading. He plays the part so perfectly that even pure devotees like Uddhava are bewildered. Now he is saying, cannot bewilder pure devotee like Uddhava. So which one is correct? This Prabhupada saying 2 things. So I can stand with one and take the whole world there. And all others are kafir. All others are not followers of his cause. But same Prabhupada is saying other thing. So how do we reconcile this?
Question.
Yes, Prabhu.
One guess may not be speculation, but I think
Now I
that
am asking that only. Go on speculating, no problem.
before he was not initiated by Vrajavasis. Now he was initiated by Vrajavasis. Initiated in the sense that he got understanding, mercy of Vrajavasis. Then
Nice,
he
very
could
nice
understand.
thought, but when did he go to Vrindavan? From Mathura only he went. From Mathura only he was sent to Vrindavan, right? Not from Dwarka.
Yes.
So your point is very nice. However, from Mathura only he was sent to Vrindavan, isn't it?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yeah, so it's before Dwarka manifested also, because Mathura they were there for 30, how many? More than 30 years, 18 times. But very good thought, very nice thought. That there is a transformation after Rajvaz. There is a lot of transformation. Earlier he was known as student of Brihaspati, right? That's what Sukhdev said. Proktam Tanayam, Brahaspate Tanayam, but now he is student of Brajvasis. Yeah. Yes. How to reconcile these two statements? He's written something there. I don't know. You read that or not? That is hint for you. So Vishwanath Thakur says that, right? That he was confused for many years. He asked many sages about this, Krishna's pastimes and his truths, but no one gave him satisfying answer. But what he did, he asked Krishna in seclusion. Krishna clarified all subject matters. Then he was fully clear. So this is all Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. He is writing there one part of it, second part he is writing here. So person of character of Uddhava has that thing. Yes. So others who are not devotees are bewildered by such behavior of Lord who acted just like human beings. Avajamanti Mamaya. Pure devotees like Uddhava, however, are never misled by such atheistic opportunists. So only Vishwanath has written that. Even Jiva Goswami doesn't, at least I have not read them. Might be there in Sandarbha, because sometimes Jiva Goswami's things are told by Vishwanath Chakravarti, and some are unique of Vishwanath Chakravarti. So now the height of mercy. Anya avatarado adarshana. Aho bakiya ado punar laukika lilayam krupaya. Atya maryadatvam. Atya maryadatvam. Which is not possible for other avatars. Is told in this verse. Kripa madhuryam smaran vilapayat. So you see, he is in Krishna Tattva, he is in Uddhava's emotion. Both acharyas are focusing on two different things. Aho vakiyam stanakala kutam jigam sayapaya yatad sadvi lebhe gatim dhatrichutam tatonyam karama dayalum sharanam prajema.
Alas, how shall I take shelter of one more merciful than him, who granted the position of mother to a she-demon Putana, although she was unfaithful and she prepared deadly poison to be sucked from her breast?
Yeah. So this is a verse which some people, full sampradaya, they don't accept because they are, with all respects to them, because they are devotees of Krishna in Raga Marga. But they can't digest that, which they aspire. Putana got that. They can't accept this. So they say that this is not, this part of Bhagavatam is not Vipreksha. It's not there original in Bhagavatam like that. But it's not an ego problem. Radheshampu was explaining this in our Bhakti Vaibhav. It's a problem of devotion. They don't accept Brahma Vimodhita. But that is also not ego problem. That's out of respect. This is out of emotion of this, and that is out of respect. It might have happened. It will be him and Krishna. We don't discuss about the fault of our Acharya. So this is such an amazing disposition. So we appreciate that disposition. However, we appreciate Mahaprabhu and what he has come to give. And Brahmaji is glorifying that only, right? Vrajvasis are glorified. 14th chapter of Bhagavatam is the most amazing chapter. The prayers of, it is establishing all the truths in 10 cantos. That is, like this section is here. Similar section in 10th canto, all truths, everything refuted Brahmaji's prayers. So that only they are bereft of, but we all respect, appreciate their respect. So this is one verse where they say, but Bhakta Vesha Matrena Yaha Sadgatim Dattavan iti artha. So who is glorified here? He just dressed like gopi. Bhakta Vesha Matrena. And Krishna gave Sadgati. tato anyam kam va bhajam. Who is saying this? SS means who? Yeah. Who is our Swami? One who doesn't accept this is prostitute. Mahaprabhu says. He is only glorified Vrajvasi. So Putana pastime is not Putana pastime. Putana pastime is Yashoda pastime. Putana pastime is glory of Yashoda. That someone who imitates Yashoda, I will give Satrati. What to speak of understanding her mood and serving like that is the more emphasis is Krishna is showing. And who is saying that any Gaudiya Acharya? Sridhar Swami is saying. So why we should go to any other to surrender other than Krishna and Vrindavan? Tato anyam kam va bhajam. So see, this is Sridhar Swami. So we offer respect to all the acharyas, because variety is mother of enjoyment. And so Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur quotes that Sridhar Swami. Though she hated the Lord, he made her special example. But Vishwanath doesn't stop there. He tells that Lord is not illogical. So Lord allowed her to go to Vrindavan, but she could never touch Krishna. So rationality and mercy are reconciled in absolute truth. Right? This incident shows that the quality of giving liberation and bhakti to even those who hate him. Ata arigati dayak, in the highest. Ata arigati dayak is quality of Vishnu Tattva actually. 60 qualities it comes. Ata arigati dayak is one of the 5 extra qualities than Shiva. But that Ata arigati dayak is so all the qualities which are shown by Lord Vishnu, all 5 Hatha arigati dayak and others also, they are highest extent expressed by Krishna. So Hatha arigati dayak is crescendo is this pastime. And not only her family, they got special gati. Who is that? Baka, Baki and Aga. They all got special disciplines. So that is Krishna's supremacy in his mercy. So why not to take his shelter? Why to go somewhere else? Here is an extreme mercy. Yeah, Prabhupada writes a very nice statement here. It is said that a noble man accepts good qualities of a person of a doubtful character, just as one accepts nectar from stalk of fire. That Chanakya thing he explains and glorifies Krishna to be most noble. And his value as Supreme Lord did not diminish upon his becoming a baby. So this is amazing. The Lord accepts the least qualification of living entity and awards him the highest reward. This is standard of his character. This is Krishna. In Vrindavan. Prabhupada is right. This is standard of his character. Therefore, who but not Lord can be the ultimate shelter? And we can extend this that this is further, Hatha arigati dayak is highest in Krishna. But that is surpassed by who? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Patra apatra na dekhi na dakhi taru. He is going to give that. So Mahaprabhu is even more merciful than, and more merciful than that is who? Nityananda. Yeah, and more merciful. And their mercy will get by Advaita's mercy. Like that, there is some. So we have to approach them through Mahaprabhu. There is no other direct way. Approach to Mahaprabhu and Goswami to take shelter of Krishna. And this is spoken out of emotion. Manni Suran Bhagavatam Stradhishe Sambrambhamargana Vinivishta Chittan Ye Sanyuge Chakshatataksh Putra Sena Sunabha Yudha Patantam. Yeah.
I consider the demons who are inimical towards the Lord to be more than the devotees because by fighting with the Lord, absorbed in thoughts of enmity, they are able to see the Lord carried on the shoulder of Garuda, the son of Kashyapa, and carrying the Veer weapon in his hand.
Yeah. So I consider So now it is not that he is giving conclusion. This is true to me. I consider it. So Vishwanath first clarified. Uddhava's lamentation is here shown as not the final conclusion. Right? It's just we are because they died when seeing Krishna's beauty, and I am full now here, separation from Krishna. We will die without seeing Krishna. Since he has disappeared, thus will not attain his abode. That is his feeling. So that is so Prabhupada also very nicely writes. Anyone who is slightly in touch with the Lord somehow or other is greatly benefited, even to the point of salvation due to the excellence of the Lord. So this already we saw. So Shrigal Vasudev also was given like that. He was imitating Krishna, wanting to fight with Krishna. Can you imagine? And he is inviting Krishna. You fool, you are imitation Vasudeva, I am original Vasudeva. Can you imagine? And he sent a letter to Krishna. And Krishna read and started laughing. And then Krishna went and killed him. But what is the destination? Because he imitated him. 400 form. But actually it was like Brahman, that Acharya's tale. Again the logic, mercy and rationalization is there. Yes, Prabhu.
उधर के टाइम में एक पॉइंट था कि could not touch Vrindavan.
Yes.
एक पॉइंट था वो भी clear.
See, she became Dhatri. So Dhatri is what? Dhatri Uchit, not even Dhatri. Dhatri Uchitam. So that means she was there in the house of Yashoda. But she would never take Krishna, touch Krishna, feed Krishna like other gopis. She could observe, and that is also great. This is Vishwanath Chakravarti. So what? Because she didn't have anything, no. But she is given entrance, so all the sampradaya has problem. How can she be? They accept his mercy, but Vaikuntha, no one can go without bhakti. But bhakti was given to her, but not illogically. She could observe. And it's a special, only one case like that. And what is the purpose of that? To glorify Yashoda. So Vishwanath says that she is not doing all this lalan, palan and all other elderly gopis are able to do. That access, that intimacy, that experience is not there with her. But she has a great experience. So she deserves great obeisances. And she is teaching us how Krishna is merciful. So we should not offend Putana. Not Putana now, but okay. So that is it clear? Same is Sigal Vasudeva also. The point is anyone comes in touch with him. What to speak of him? His devotees also. Shaubari Muni came in touch with Garuda through offense, but eventually everything happened bad. Everything good only happens when you encounter Krishna or his devotee. Good thing is going to happen. Actually, the demons can never be equal to pure devotees. Prabhupada is saying. But Uddhava was thinking in that way because of his feelings of separation. He was thinking that the last stage of his life he might not be able to see Krishna. So who says something similar feeling in Bhagavatam? In this canto only. I think it happened already. Yeah, we have already it happened. What is going on in Bhagavatam? Who is speaking? Something similar. The demons are fortunate. Yes, correct. What is it? Okay. What he says? Narada Muni is perfect. About whom? They are going close. See, Yudhishthira is disturbed by something which happened in front of him. That's how this whole canto begins, right? And the first 27 verses are the most essential siddhanta of Krishna, again Krishna. The seventh canto, beginning of practice of pure devotion, again the highest thing of Krishna is depicted there. So, Gopya Kamat Bhayat Kamso, Dveshat Siddhya Nrupa. All these things after told, Narada says, actually, I am not so intense absorbed in Krishna like this. Demons. Demons are more absorbed than me. Like that, Narada says. So he's glorifying the demons in a way that their negative absorption is far higher than my absorption. Like that. So he's glorifying them in connection to Krishna. So actually, there is no criticism or criticism of something appropriate and just now what we saw, appreciation of something wrong. If these two things are done in connection to your appreciation to Krishna, these two are ornaments. They are not wrong. If you appreciate something wrong in connection to glorification of Krishna, and if you criticize something which is right in connection to glorifying Krishna, because in glorification, naturally you will have to compare, and there will be some truths which will be spoken. But that is not spoken, that is not criticism out of any negativity. So this is very important. Otherwise, we will never able to speak the glory of Krishna. Like the one acharya, one sampradaya, they don't discuss Taratamya only because it's offense. It's offense to discuss Taratamya among pastimes. Taratamya is the higher and lower. Like what is Brihad Bhagavatamrita? It's all Taratamya. What is Bhagavatam? It's all Taratamya. You will see everywhere there is comparison. Why comparison is done? Not to demean that devotee, not to say, but he's superior, he's more intimate, he's more pure. So that Taratamya is not criticism. No? So that has to be understood. That is there at many places. And unless we speak, and if we don't speak that, what will people think? No, then we are not going to present the Amal Yash of Krishna. Amal Yash is that which glorifies supremacy of Krishna's beautiful form, supremacy of his all attractiveness of his pastimes in Vrindavan, and pure unalloyed devotional service. This is Amal Yash, and this has to be spoken, and that satisfied Vedas. So that kind of criticism also we should be very careful to not judge anyone if someone is doing. In glorifying some person, if he is apparently saying something, then we have to appreciate it. It's not out of negativity. So now let us go forth here. Now, from here he is speaking in sequence for the sake of pleasing who? Vidura. Actually, Vidura has asked specifically about what? What he is disturbed by? Prabhu. But now he has given one dose here till now. Now, immediately to speak about the past time of Lord's disappearance is not so conducive right now. So Uddhava wants now he will speak some nice pastimes, joyous pastimes of Krishna before he culminates into the Prabhash pastime which he want to clarify. So this is what is told from 25th verse purport only. He says, please read this in order
to answer Vidura's questions, Uddhava had to tell him about the disappearance of Krishna. Now he attempts to explain this sad pastime along with the joyous pastimes. He was born in the prison Bandhani of Kamsa. He desired to give happiness, Shama. It's Shama? or
Shama.
Shama. To the earth, Asyaha, at the request of Brahma, Ajena.
Yeah. So this is servitude of Uddhava. So he has revealed some important things till now about how he appears, why he appears, what is his form, what are his associates. Associates are with him, no one has died. But he has not clearly said it. He is going to say in the 4th chapter. So now he is going to speak some sweet pastimes of Krishna for pleasure. For that also he asked it. Please bathe me in Krishna's pastime. I bathed in so many holy places. So please bathe me in Krishna's pastime. So this is the glimpse of 10th candy. Here. So again, Ashraya Tattva is given here in short. For each there is one chapter in Ashraya. Here it is told. This is the book. So Prabhupada also echoes that. Although there is no difference between Lord pastimes or appearance and disappearance, the devotees of the Lord do not generally discuss the subject matter of disappearance. But we must discuss Prabhu. If you hear the 11th canto Phalashruti of disappearance pastime, then we should discuss that because there are a lot of profound philosophical forms there. But generally we don't discuss. It is displeasing, right? That's true. But Bhagavatam it is there. So now, yeah, I think we didn't read the. Yeah, now one devotee can read the translations, maybe of 10 verses. वासुदेवस्य देवक्यां जातो भोजेन्द्रबन्धने चिकीर्षुर् भगवान् शमे ज्ञानाभियाचतः.
The personality of God and Lord Sri Krishna being prayed to by Brahma to bring welfare to the earth was begotten by Vasudeva in the womb of his wife Devaki in the prison of the king of Persia.
Yeah. So you see, now he goes in sequence. Till now he was not in sequence. The purpose was different. So it is not just remembrance of Krishna. There are a lot of. So now he goes in a particular sequence. So yeah, Prabhu, please read translations.
Thereafter, his father, being afraid of Kamsa, brought him to the cow pastures of Maharaj Nanda, and there he lived for 11 years, like a cowherd, like a
Covered flame.
covered flame with his elder brother Baldev.
Yeah. So covered flame means what? He showed only sweetness, not greatness in Vrindavan. That is one meaning of covered flame. As I told you, flame means what? Like sun. Sun, when in separation, the Brajvasis experience like separation like sun. Sun means they can see all reality. They see Aishwarya of Krishna and Madhurya of Krishna. Because when sun is on, but when moon is there, Krishna Chandra is there in front of them, then what you see in moonlight is not all things. You see some things only. Right? So Krishna's sweetness is only seen in Sambhoga when they are with Krishna. Right? So that is so covered flame means that fire of this greatness was not shown there in Vrindavan. So he lived there for 11 years. Imagine. So just Krishna's pastime in Vrindavan over in 2 verses only. Not 2 verses, sorry. He just told initially that he lived there without showing his greatness. So Prabhupada writes a brilliant purport here, where he glorifies the devotion of Vasudeva. 26 only, right? So the essence of it is that he elaborates the point of that why did Krishna allow Vasudeva to take him and why he fell in the river and all that. So Krishna wanted to enhance Vasudeva's Vatsalya also. So whole pastime was enacted to please his devotee. So Prabhupada nicely elaborates. You can read this portion. Yeah, please read. Yeah, Nanda from here you can read.
Nand Maharaj was due to receive him as a child, and Yashoda Mai was also to enjoy the childhood pastimes of the And therefore, to fulfill everyone's desire, he was carried from Mathura to Vrindavan just after his appearance in the prison house of Kamsa. He lived there for 11 years and completed all his fascinating pastimes of childhood, boyhood, and adulthood with his elder brother Lord Balram, his first expansion. Vasudeva's thought of protecting Krishna from the wrath of Kamsa is part of a transcendental lesson. The Lord enjoys more when someone takes him as his subordinate son, who needs the protection of a father. Then he does when someone accepts him as the Supreme Lord.
Yes, that's it. The point what Prabhupada very nicely highlighting is why did Krishna do that? To awaken Vasudeva's thought, that intensity of his Vatsalya to increase. So to fulfill everyone's desire, Prabhupada says, to fulfill everyone's desire, he was carried from Mathura to Vrindavan. just after appearing. So he gave experience to Vasudeva, what he deserved in that sense. And then mainly his whole goal was 11 years of Vrindavan. That's the whole purpose of his coming. Okay? In Chaitanya Charitamrita we know that I will appear to show with my associates Raga Bhakti, etc. Yeah, 27.
In his childhood, the Almighty Lord was surrounded by carved coins and calves, and thus he traveled on the shore of Yamuna River. Through gardens densely covered with trees and filled with vibrations of chirping birds.
So he's playing with the gopas and all. Yeah? So like that, the Sakhyaras. So here Prabhupada glorifies the pious activities of those gopas. They are very fortunate. So they are not ordinary people to play with Krishna. Right? So they have done great heaps of. So he quotes basically that verse, Tam Satam Brahma Sukhana Bhakti. One statement is there that they were so fond, so they were so absorbed in Lord. So we earlier heard about the gopis, right? The absorption in Krishna. So here there is Gopa's experience. So you see, they were so fond of the Lord that at night they would only think of that next morning when they would be able to meet the Lord and go together to the forest for cowherd. Whole night they will think about when I will hear the horn and I will go. So this is effect on the friends of Krishna. So they were very amazingly connected with Krishna. All trees, birds, everything. Yes. Further, Vatsalyaras, please.
When Lord displayed his activities thus suitable for childhood, he was visible only to the residents of Vrindavan. Sometimes he would cry and sometimes laugh, just like a child. And while so doing, he would appear like a lion cub.
Yeah. So this Vatsalyaras, Sakhyaras ho gaya, Vatsalyaras ka post hai. So here Prabhupada explains the accessibility and availability of Krishna. Anyone can pick him up and instruct him to do this, that, he will cry. So this is the exchange of affection. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also did that, right? So this is intimacy. This Shaushilya, elsewhere I think Prabhupada writes in first canto, Kunti Maharani prayers that Lord Krishna is more merciful than Lord Ram. So Lord Ram childhood he performed pastimes, but how many of people could exchange in Vatsalyaras? Only 3 mothers. So, but Krishna was available for all village. He would go to their home. So Krishna is more merciful than Lord Ram. So Prabhupada is glorified. Tartamya, as I said, this is Ashraya Tattva. It's glorified. Neither Kunti Maharani spoke about Lord Ram, but Prabhupada is comparing. Because that is accessible and available and exchanging affection with them. Now cow herding, Pauganda Lila. So we will complete this chapter and take a break. And then we'll begin with that. Yes. Yes, Pope, quickly.
While studying the very beautiful book, the Lord, who was the reservoir of all opulence and fortune, used to blow his flute, and thus he enlivened his faithful followers, the covered bomb.
So as I told, Prabhupada is writing his purports for 10,000 years, right? He is not having liberty like Vishwanath Chakravarti, just for pleasure of devotees. That is his concern, compassion. So this purport, Prabhupada writes the importance of cow protection and Vedic culture in this context. So he says very powerful. With only these 2 things, what is that? One is considered to be rich man by strength of his store of grains and cows. With only these 2 things, cow and grain, humanity can solve his eating problem. Human society needs only sufficient grain and sufficient cows to solve the economic problems. See, the next statement is very strong, and we should have faith on this. All other things, but these 2, which are 2? Agriculture or grain and cow protection and milk. But to our artificial necessities created by man to kill his valuable life at human level and waste his time in things which are not needed. So it's very important, although we are not involved in these things. But if we want to go to Vrindavan, Vrindavan is village. And cow and that is very important. As Rana Maharaj told, Gorakhpur and all IIT, you are all IIT very nice, but you have to know how to milk the cow. So these things are important. And I was there for 1.5 years and I tried to understand agriculture under Srinath Prabhu. I'm trying to put, but I offered my 1,000 respect to all farmers. Actually, it's easier said than done. And that is the main thing which is feeding. Now, all other are useless necessities. So, coming to simple life, simple living, and high thinking, 50% of establishment of Prabhupada's desire is very, very, very important aspect of ISKCON. And we should understand it, support it, speak about it, and do it if possible. Because that's Prabhupada's desire. 50 years have gone. Right? He's loudly speaking everywhere. So this whole purport is that human society will kill its spirit of life by killing the father and mother. So these things are happening. And if we serve in that company, what we will get, can you imagine? So this we have to understand. Philosophy that someone works like the boys whom you are preaching or any congregation. If they are working in some IT company and they are doing sinful activity, so do you think that they will not get anything from them? So you have to understand and come to this that occupations also have to be pure. And it will take time, but it has to happen. Otherwise, we are as brahmacharis, we should accept, we don't know the struggle of existence outside. To be very frank, I don't know some of you, I am connected with, because I can know from my brother the things happening. It's really, person is struggle for existence, what word use Prabhupada is using, just to keep things continue, one has to work very much. To do bhakti, he doesn't have time. If he has time, there is no peaceful mind. There is so much of insecurity about job, so much of insecurity about children, so much of insecurity about woman, right? So Brahminical culture means these 5 things are protected. What are those 5? That is mode of goodness. What are those 5 things? So let us, yeah, old people first, yeah, very correct. Children, woman, cows, Brahmanas. This is, and we are all Vaishnavas. So creation is done by Brahma. And if we don't maintain as Vaishnavas, this is words of Parampuja Radhanath Maharaj, I am repeating. We are not creators, we are not. If we don't do, we are Vaishnavas, so we are supposed to maintain the things. And maintenance means these 5 things. There should not be any insecurity for an old person, old brahmachari, old grahast. Someone will take care of me or not, because I am no production. That is a very organizational culture. It's not culture actually. It's organization. Prabhupada society is not international. What is it? Society. It is not International Institute of Krishna Consciousness. It's not an institute of hierarchies. It's a society where all these things are dealt with very nicely. They are taken care, they are protected, they are respected. So it's very important. And when I spoke, the most senior, most elderly devotee, I was speaking about Gurukul. What about Gurukul? You know what he said? He said, Prabhupada said so many things. You are thinking about Gurukul, but what about old devotees? Immediately he said to me, I was like, my Lord. So, how do we do? So that's the thing we have to do collectively. One person can't do this. This is a society thing. So Prabhupada is writing so big purport, you see here. Yeah. Let us please read translation quickly now.
The great wizards who were able to assume any form were engaged by the king of Bodha, Kamsa, to kill Krishna. But in the course of his pastime, God killed them as it knew as child breaks from.
तो मामा के खिलौने ये भागवतम में दिए गए मामा के खिलौने तोड़ दिए भागवतम 31 So essential pastimes of Krishna, famous pastimes of Krishna, which are they? Kaliya and Govardhan. That's what is there. Please read translation.
The inhabitants of Vrindavan were perplexed by great difficulties because a certain portion of the Yamuna was poisoned by the chief of the reptiles, Kaliya. The Lord chastised the snake king within the water and drove him away. And after coming out of the river, he caused the cows to drink the water and proved that the water has again its natural state.
So now there are so many Kaliyas in all cities for polluting the rivers. Right? Yeah, 32.
Supreme Lord Krishna desired to utilize the opulent financial strength of Maharaj Nanda for worship of the cows, and also he wanted to gain a lesson, or give a lesson to Indra, the king of heaven. Thus he advised his father to perform worship of go on the pasturing land and the cows with the help of learned Brahmanas.
Prabhupada right outside. Since he is the teacher of everyone, the Lord also taught his father Nand Maharaj. But more than Nand Maharaj, whom he is teaching? Indra. Yeah, that's the main thing. This Prabhupada want to teach us that teach people that don't do demigod worship. So who tells the truth? Siddhanta is demigod worship is not necessary. Worship of demigods common to people is arrangement for acknowledging supremacy of Supreme Lord, but it is not necessary. That's what purpose. 33.
Whosoever will King Indra, his honor has been insulted, poured water instantly on the ground. Thus the inhabitants of Praja, land of cows, were greatly distressed. But the compassionate Lord Krishna saved them from danger with his pastime umbrella, the Govardhan.
Yeah. So actually, Govardhan pastime is extremely famous. Why? Because all rasas are exchanged there below the Govardhan. All of them. So now culmination of everything. So Shashi Karai Mrishtam Manayandrajani Mukham Gayan Kalparam Premi Strinam Mandala Mandala.
Within the third season of the year, Lord enjoyed as the central beauty of the assembly of women by attracting them with his pleasing songs in an autumn night brightened by moonshine.
Yeah. So here, Srila Jiva Goswami and Vishwanath both say that actually Uddhava inundated with prema upon starting describing Rasada. He was so much inundated because that's what his highest appreciation for, right? Asamaham Charanarenu Yushamaham. He wanted dust of their lotus. So he stopped there. He could not continue because of his emotions. This is what Jiva Goswami says, and Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is further Rasikacharya. He says this is referring to Srimati Radharani, and Krishna is wiping the tears of her. So Rajani, Mukham and all that. So he explains all that. Bringing joy to the face of Radharani by rubbing away her perspiration with his hand, making her think that she alone was his lover. Krishna, as beautiful as moon, singing softly, ornamenting the whole group of gopis who enjoyed Raslila with them. So this is the inner meaning, and there is another meaning. Yeah, so this is what is given. And Prabhupada also writes that. So he stopped. He could not continue to speak. So Prabhupada also writes that. Before leaving the land of cows, Vrindavan, the Lord pleased his young girlfriends. So actually it's very deep girlfriend. The transcendental gopis in his Ras Lila pastimes. Here Uddhava stopped the description of Lord's activity. We stopped for a while. Of course, next chapter starts again. But there is some break here because he went into emotion, which he could not control. Thus, in the Bhakti Vaibhav purports of the third canto, second chapter of the Srimad Bhagavatam, entitled Remembrance of Krishna. So we will meet at 5, is it okay? 5 to 4:47. So we will meet back. And yeah, let us see if we can So we have around 1 hour. So let us see how much we can complete this chapter. Third chapter. It's just become okay. Now break.